for the blessing, being able to learn and just ask for the feeling of your Holy Spirit into each of our hearts as well. And also as just sung, please. Jesus, we invite you into our hearts just now. Come and take your rightful place in our hearts, we pray. And we thank this in your precious name.
Okay, so this, is one of my favourite topics, and hydrotherapy is very powerful, and I've completed my registered nursing April.
Speak up a little louder.
Oh, okay. I finished my registered nursing last year in April, and I learned that actually nurses back in the day got taught hydrotherapy and massage as part of their. I was like, oh, that definitely isn't in what you get taught these days. And I just, yes, it does take time, but its results is far better than, how it's modified, how they get certain diseases, things get treated today. So we'll learn about it. Yeah, so we'll learn about the power of hydrotherapy. We'll start with this quote. It's from Ministry of Healing, page 127. It says, disease is an effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from a violation of health. In case of sickness, the cause should be ascertained. So the cause should be found out. Unhealthful conditions should be changed, wrong habits corrected. Then nature is to be assisted in her effort to expel impurities and to re-establish right conditions in the system. I just love how, the system 8. Find out what is the cause of whatever's happening with yourself or somebody else. And then, same thing, full lifestyle change. And wrong habits corrected, and we can assist nature to expel the impurities. So that's through natural remedies that we're going to be learning about today and tomorrow as well. Yeah, I like that quote. Another beautiful thing, learning different treatments and things in order to be able to share. We come across so many in our families, friends, anybody that we meet. Everybody is struggling with something. It's just such a privilege to have a knowledge of these simple things. There's just a couple of quotes. It says, thousands need and would gladly receive instruction concerning the simple methods of treating the sick. Methods that are taking the place of the use of poisonous drugs. And this one's pretty key too. The use of water can accomplish but little if the patient does not feel the necessity of also strictly attending to his diet. So I'm just saying that everything's interrelated. You can't separate one from the other. This one also from Ministry of Healing. In health and in sickness, pure water is one of heaven's choicest blessings. The external application of water is one of the easiest and most satisfactory way of regulating the circulation of the blood. But many have never learned by experience the beneficial effects of the proper use of water, and they are afraid of it. Water treatments are not appreciated as they should be, and to apply them skillfully requires work that many are unwilling to perform. But none should feel excused for ignorance or indifference on this subject. There are many ways in which water can be applied to relieve pain and check disease. Hold in check. All should become intelligent in its use in simple home treatments. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful statement. And yeah, she gives some ways that how it holds actually it's used to relieve pain, check disease, and regulate the circulation. Yeah. So a bit about history of hydrotherapy. So all over Germany and Europe, it started, and then spreading later to the United States. In the late 1800s, Dr. Wittenitz, he actually wrote his first book on hydrotherapy, but it never got published, so it's actually not, you can't get a hold of it today, but through his experience it just kept going through, and you've all heard of Dr. Kellogg. He wrote a huge book called Rational Hydrotherapy, heaps and heaps of treatments written in detail. Yeah, really great book of his experience in the big sanitarium and hospital. I'm not sure also in the Spanish flu, when that was all happening, there was people dying within a couple of days after getting the flu. And they looked at, there was actually a group of people, which some of them were Adventists, and they brought them to camp, brought the sick to camps and actually did hydrotherapy treatments. Which we'll learn about, and some other treatments, and the success rate was very high, and I can't remember the percentage of how many lived, but heaps, the rate compared to the hospital was just amazing. You can actually look that up. It's interesting. And Dr. Kellogg, he said that hydrotherapy, there is no peer in pain relief. So there's nothing else that can equal, not medication, there's nothing else that can equal how hydrotherapy can relieve pain as well, which is really awesome. I love looking at old pictures in the hospitals and sanitariums of when they used to do some treatments. So there's some wet sheet wraps, and I don't know if someone's getting sprayed with a hose, looks terrible, but very beneficial. I was in the bath, he's getting a salt blow or something, and different fermentations. So I really very hands-on, you can see. A beautiful thing about these treatments is the blessing and privilege of being able to work alongside God with this, because this is his method, one of his methods of healing and assisting our bodies to expel impurities. The privilege of being able to pray with the patients or the person that you're working with, and our part is to stay connected with him, with him as well. So I talked a little bit about white blood cells in the immunity talk, and I just found a couple of facts about white blood cells. Really amazing. So we have 300 trillion white blood cells that are formed, mature, and ready to fight battles. 60 trillion are on active duty as we speak and circulating in your bloodstream, ready to fight whatever is coming. Their number and energy in which they attack the enemy can be stimulated by simple remedies of hot and cold water applications, exercise, fresh air, sunshine, proper rest, and diet. I love learning about how how our bodies and the simple things, how these things can actually be used to stimulate the production of our white blood cells and to activate them. Yeah, so let's go back to here. So white blood cells usually are usually called to action when our bodies reach a temperature of 40 degrees. So when we have a fever, it is a good thing because our bodies, that's when our white blood cells are in action and they're doing exactly what they need to do. And so we can actually create a fever using some of the methods of hydrotherapy, which we'll talk about, which we can actually create in somebody a fever, and they're sweating and stimulating the white blood cells to eat and destroy whatever pathogen or whatever's going on in their lung, anywhere. But if you were naturally to get a fever, you know how you feel really washed out? Really, like, you just got 5 minute bed. But when we artificially give someone a fever, there actually is no washed out feeling. In fact, we actually feel more energized after, which is amazing.
But Kelly,
Yes.
what would you say? So when should one go to hospital if they've got a fever? If someone's got a fever.
Yeah. So fever is very, very uncomfortable. Yes, and we can. When our body can overheat quite majorly, and for the sake of the person, because people can go really delirious because of the heat.
Yeah.
And there are things that you can do at home to reduce and relieve a fever. So probably don't necessarily have to go to hospital for that. But yeah.
Just to discern where you think it's coming from, like whether you know what it is or not, whether you need help.
Yeah, that's right.
Because in a sense, you don't want, if you go under the care of someone else, they'll be trying to get that fever down.
Absolutely.
Which you don't want to happen if you in this instance it's going to be helpful.
Yeah, I remember working in hospitals and someone comes in with like big fever and fevers they last for a little while, but when they're gone, it's gone. But instantly pumping them with Panadol and things that try and take it down.
To get
But
them temporary comfort.
Yeah, that's it. But it also does stop the body from properly fighting it off, which we want whatever's going on. We want it. So that's So some water therapy principles. Water is capable of absorbing and storing a larger amount of heat than nearly any other substance. Water is the world's greatest solvent. It can cleanse better than anything else, and it can remove waste. Neither infants or the elderly bear cold treatment well, so you do have to be careful. Some chill after almost any kind of cold application. Remember that they are only being helped if they react well to the cold application. So if they're left shivering, goosebumps, not good. We want there to be we'll talk about it more, but we want there to be pink in their skin as well, and a refreshed, they feel refreshed. We'll talk about that. Always keep the feet warm. It's really important. The body should be warm before cold is applied. The patient should be warm afterwards as well. Cold treatment should be given quickly. As soon as treatment is completed, quickly dry them. So they're just things that you probably would do anyway, but just making sure that they're in a stable state the whole time. For their comfort.
And I was reading that those with anemia were quite emaciated as well, have extreme thinness, to apply not
like quite intense heat, but just a more milder heat for them. This is amazing. This is just a handful, even though it's quite a few, but some of the physiological effects on the body. So, water, the use of water, and heat, and hot and cold, brings blood to an afflicted part. It also pulls blood from a deeper internal organ to the skin just above it. So it can actually penetrate, the heat can penetrate into our internal organs that are like in the middle of our bodies. Nothing else can do that. It's just amazing. Can pull blood from that area. It's just,
draws blood away from a deeper congested organ. The immune system will stay elevated for up to 2 days after giving a treatment. That's amazing. Will tone up the body, and circulation temperature is increased and equalised as well. It's also a form of detoxing as well. Improves digestion, is a pain reliever, reduces stress. It is actually really restful. There are certain treatments that are just really restful, and often someone's fallen asleep on me. But yeah, so stimulates a sluggish and inactive organ, relaxes the lungs, heart, stomach, and the endocrine system too. Increases our range of motion, those who have stiff joints. Stimulates and soothes the entire nervous system as well. And alkalises the blood. There's lots of things. Yeah.
So Kelly, when you're referring to an organ, like in the second one, the fourth, the last one, an organ, is that particularly if you're doing hydrotherapy on a part of the body?
Yeah.
Or it'll just do what it needs to do in the weakest part?
So, it's really interesting. So, it's called derivation. So, or a reflex effect. So, when I'm still trying to remember when you apply heat on a certain part of our body, it actually draws the congestion from a totally different area of our body. So, for instance, the simple one, putting your feet in hot water pulls the blood from our brain if we are congested in our heads. And I can't remember how exactly it goes, but if we put it on our kidneys, that pulls the congestion from our lung. I'll find it for you because it's really, really, really great to know.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. Yeah.
So have you done selected body parts before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly on chest.
Yeah.
Someone's chest if they've got like the recovering after a flu or some nasty congestion, and big headaches and migraines as well. So there's a couple of types of treatments that you can do. Hot and cold showers, hot fermentations, so using a moist heat, so it's not dripping wet, it's just a damp towel. Hot and cold compress, cold mitten frictions, that's using friction on the skin. Ice massage, it's great for increasing the mobility in your joints, and a steam bath. You don't have to have a big house set up for that. You can actually do it using things that you have in your kitchen. Yeah.
Sorry, tell me to be quiet if I say too much. So can I just get an understanding of the picture? So you did massage?
Yes.
Elizabeth, and you did massage as well? No. Who else did massage? You did massage, sorry. And yours was in a retreat, a Seventh-day Adventist retreat. Yours, not Joseph. But did you do any of these?
Hot and cold showers, yes. Hot fermentations, yes. Hot and cold mitten friction, ice mat, all of them. Yeah.
Did all of them as part of your role?
Yeah, what people needed. Yeah.
Whereas Joseph, there would have been nothing rang a bell with you. Interesting. Thanks, just helps me picture.
So, just a couple of things to keep in mind when we are giving somebody a treatment. So, feeble patients, you need to be careful with them. People who have low vitality and people who are already chilled or are already cold. We need to be careful. Children under 3, we want to take extreme care with that. And also extreme care with people who also have diabetes. And why, I'm sure you guys know, but why do you think we should take care for them?
Because I don't feel it.
Yeah, their sense of, they don't have that same sensory. Well, some who have lost, lost the ability to feel the difference between hot and cold. Use a more milder heat. So not going to burn them. With caution, you can apply heat in young diabetic patients who have not developed peripheral neuropathy, so someone who they can still feel hot and cold very well. Effectiveness is diminished by eating just before or after a treatment, or by heavy use of sugar and oil, by most drugs, and by alcohol. So we want to steer clear of those things during a treatment, just so the body can fully focus on, and also after a treatment, really important to let them rest for at least half an hour as well. Those with anemia, emaciation, extreme thinness, I was going to say to apply a mild heat instead. Okay, so I'll just explain how hot and cold actually, what actually happens with our bodies. So when you apply moist heat to your chest or with doing hot and cold foot bath, the heat actually causes our blood vessels to dilate, which pulls the blood to that area. And with the blood comes what's in our blood. What are some things that our blood carries?
Oxygen.
Yeah, carries away with waste, oxygen. Puts oxygen there, yeah.
And toxins.
Yes, yeah.
Life.
What is it?
Life is in the blood.
Yeah. There's nutrients as well. So there's lots of things that our bodies, that our blood carries. And so all that gets pulled because our blood vessels are dilated, and then when we apply the cold, also when our blood vessels are dilated, the white blood cells, those 60 trillion and even more are called to the area as well. They're called to that exact point where you have applied that heat. Nowhere else will they go, but they'll be called right there. And when you apply the cold, that constricts, your blood vessels constrict, and that old blood that has collected that waste in that area actually gets pumped away back to our heart, and is actually, the waste is expelled through various means. And so when the heat's applied again, the blood, fresh, beautiful blood is pulled back to that area, white blood cells, and the cold, and all the waste from that area again gets pulled away. So it's like a pump action. Very, very powerful. Yeah. So I actually want to do a demonstration of a hot and cold foot bath. Is anybody feeling that would be like to be a part of the demonstration? So, for sure. I actually just need to get some things ready. I'm just trying to think.
Just the foot, or do you?
Pardon?
Just the foot.
Yeah. So just both of your feet actually in hot and cold. I just need to go and get a couple of things.
Do you want us to do
I can go and grab them. Yeah. I just don't know what to do for you guys.
we'll just talk on.
Alright, I'll go back. I'll grab some stuff.
Spirits.
Oh, that's why I asked.
Should be actually
So you.
Yeah.
I'll do the feet.
I like
You know what?
that.
I'll do the feet. You want to do something else? Is that what you, did you offer to do the feet?
Well,
Do you want to do the
feet? But I'll probably get someone else there.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of
Can I?
like
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Headache?
if I'm
Oh, always. Neck pain?
Yeah, okay.
Jaw pain?
Huh?
Back pain?
Just in case someone goes there.
Yeah. Walking.
This is
Yeah,
how
but-
they do hotel.
Need to get Will trained a little bit.
Well, yeah. I got 2 massages before I left yesterday.
Oh, good. You enjoyed? Like,
Yeah.
so he knows how to massage,
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Have to do it.
He hasn't been trained
but just
Yeah.
from love.
from that. Yeah, because I do foot spa every night. Hot foot spa. But we haven't thought to do to alternate.
Okay.
Hot, cold, hot, cold. That's probably exactly what I need.
You do that every night, did you say?
Yeah, we go for a 20-minute walk with breathing exercises. What's it called? Breathing therapy, whatever. While we do it, and then we come back and have an orange
Yeah.
and half banana for potassium and circulation as well. And then the foot spa.
Mhm.
And then theoretically I can sleep a bit better.
Yeah.
I need a holiday to Darwin.
Darwin. That's like the hottest place on the earth that I've been to. No. Thailand.
The body will relieve everything.
Yeah, leave everything.
I know when I went there, and usually sometimes I feel like neck, you know,
I enjoy it.
and they've been for like 10 days. Wow, feels really good.
Yeah.
From the heat, but the dry heat, not the wet heat,
Yeah.
not the heat.
The dry heat in Cairns is really good for my previous mother-in-law's skin.
Huh?
Yeah, psoriasis really bad. So the worst psoriasis I've ever seen. Yeah, whereas when she comes to Melbourne, hang on. The Cairns is wet heat, humid heat.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's in summer, but the winter it's dry.
Okay. So when my mother-in-law comes to the dry heat of Melbourne, or the no heat of Melbourne, yeah, her skin gets really bad. Whereas up in Cairns, it's fine.
And
Yeah.
the weather is.
Well, I knew I had a second foot spa at home for a reason. Just do hot, cold, hot, cold.
Yes. You didn't hear about it before?
No?
No.
Well, I do hot, cold in the shower.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't think to do that with the thing.
Oh,
That's going to be
oh,
made.
even,
Did anybody else do
even
the
if you
hot
have infection, it's so helpful.
Yeah. So
Or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is a really, really simple treatment that you can do.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad my
Very-
ice packs came in handy.
Oh,
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
I haven't been using them. I haven't needed them.
so some things that you want for this treatment is 2 towels and 2 buckets, one for the hot water, one for the cold water. You want to make sure the cold water it's got ice in it, ice packs. Yeah, you want it to be freezing. And the hot water, you want to have a jug of boiling water just so you can keep adding to the hot water. So, yeah. So you have that greater contrast between the two. So a towel, and you also want another bowl of cold water with a face washer in it. Just if she does sweat profusely, some people do.
Sweatband on.
That's why you've got your sweatband on. But yeah, so you can cool their foreheads so their babies are getting overheated. So that's one of the things. But when you're talking, going through the treatment with them, making sure don't have anything that they're stressing about that time, making sure they're relaxed, that they're warm, and you can explain the treatment to them as well, just what the treatment will look like. So we're going to be putting your feet in hot water for 3 minutes, and your feet will then go in cold water for 30 seconds. So I can explain it a bit later. So
In we go.
yeah, in we go. And also remembering to pray with them, asking for God's blessing. Yeah, His will to be done with the treatment as well. So, how's that feeling? Good. Tingling. Could you stand a little bit? Okay, so we always want to do as much heat as they can bear. So you don't want it to be mild, unless for those certain exceptions. So you want it to be... Pardon?
She could be feeling.
Should I?
Yes. Okay, hold your feet just to one side. And you can pop your hand in between where the hot water's going. Oh, I can't really do that.
Right.
So I can feel...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Alright, how's that? A bit more?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. And then, just to trap the heat, you can pop a towel.
Yeah.
Hold that towel.
Makes sense. We do that with inhalation.
Yeah. So, yes. So the reason why we do 3 minutes hot and 30 seconds cold, there is a reaction that takes place that lasts for 3 minutes when your feet go in the hot water. And after 3 minutes, it actually goes on a depression. So there's not really any reaction anymore. So there's not really any point having your feet in the hot water anymore, so you pop it in the cold. And the stimulation only lasts for 30 seconds in the cold. After 30 seconds, it's sort of relaxing and nothing is really, so you pop back in hot again for 3 minutes. Yeah, you can do it 3 times is good, but you can do it up to 7 times. Yeah.
7 pairs.
Yeah, so I've had, so keep an eye on your watch or time. But yeah, there was a lady that I was working with. I used to work at a health retreat a couple of months ago. She had a really big migraine. She was actually just on her one of the detox days, and she was in so much, just throwing it. She was on the couch in so much pain. And I said to her, "Have you heard of a hot foot bath?" Actually, it wasn't a hot and cold, it was just a hot foot bath. And she's, "No, I don't know what that is." And it's like, wow, this is amazing. This is such a privilege to be able to introduce these simple things to people. And yeah, so I just gave her a hot foot bath, so just gradually increasing the heat and made sure she was nice and warm, wrapped blankets around her, and was able to talk with her during that time as well. And gone. Yep, her migraine went. And yeah.
So, across I go.
Yep, so across the
Stay
go.
3 minutes, agree?
Yeah.
Oh. So the cold, it's a good contrast.
Oh. Somebody time 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll do it.
So hot and cold foot bath is used for congestive headaches and migraines. Even congestion in our eyes, if we feel like our eyes have been, you've got eye strain, earaches even, and for your chest. Pelvic cramps and prostate disorders as well. For the ladies.
That's 30 seconds?
So keep going. Another stop.
Yeah.
No, sorry. A great one, even for the ladies when they do have their periods. It's great. Even if you have a bath, you can pop your feet in the hot water, and it actually pulls. If it's heavy, it actually pulls and get gets rid of the blood. It's amazing. And yeah, great for cramps as well. Good for localized infections too. Even if you have infections on your feet, and muscle or joint pains in your ankles, roll an ankle, just for really getting rid of the swelling, and arthritis and edema as well. So that's fluid. Fluid build-up. Yeah, does anyone have any questions on the? Has everyone?
Actually,
Yes.
I don't know this one. When you mentioned about period pains, because my niece suffers from that, you wouldn't finish on the cold, or do you? You put them in the hot water.
Still finish with cold.
Still finish with cold.
Yeah. Yeah, just to finishing a treatment with cold is important. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an experience. I was working with a guy at Seattle, actually on the scaffold, and it actually collapsed from under us. And I sprained my ankle. I didn't know I'd sprained my ankle. Got back up and we were working. And we went to a prayer meeting that night, and my ankle just got so painful, Liz had to drive home. It was just, I just couldn't even drive. And so we did that treatment. And the next day, in the morning, I did another treatment. And I was walking around as if nothing had happened. It was sort of tender. It wasn't sore, but the next day after that, you wouldn't even know I'd done it. And it just took the pain away straight away. You know?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, often I think of this is so simple to do. Like you can do this in hospital. Like, yes, it does take a bit of time. But yeah. Could you more?
Andre, have you got a timer on there?
Yep.
So
Still.
got another minute maybe? Half a minute?
About 30 seconds.
Yes. So for my all of body muscle and joint pains with suspected arthritis, do the shower every time I'm in the shower, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you can also do hot and cold like directly on it as well.
Yeah, it's such a big area.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you can change now. Cold.
Yeah.
So with hot and cold showers, I was up in Darwin a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, all right, time for a hot and cold shower, and turn the cold on, and it's still hot. So the difference between hot and cold up there isn't very great. But there's still stuff. But here, very good. So you can actually direct your shower. You can direct it to different areas on your body. That's true. Yeah. Yes. Yes. You can put ice, something to make it freezing.
Yeah, you can change.
It's pretty cool.
You can change. You can change.
And if the hot gets cool, that's why you got to be careful, isn't it?
Yes, correct. So you can actually apply the heat because you feel. So hot and cold showers, they're really great for acute inflammation, relieves fatigue and depression. Yeah, definitely relieves fatigue. It definitely wakes you up. And for those who have acute nervous irritability as well. And you can use hot and cold showers as a preventative too. If you're, feeling like you're coming down with a cold or a flu, even a sore throat, even a scratchy throat, you can do hot and cold showers. Because again, opening your blood vessels and closing, getting that good blood. Yeah, so that's one treatment that you can do every day.
What's nervous irritability?
So that's anxious feelings. Just not being able to rest.
Good for you.
Yes, I would encourage, even you don't necessarily have to do a hot and cold, but to at least finish your showers with cold water.
Right.
I know it's a big thing, but you do get used to bracing yourself, but you're instantly warm after the shower. It's really good.
You haven't done it, Maria?
No, it's just seeing that the hot and cold shell's good for flus and colds and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've tried it and it's good.
Yes.
Especially after going to the gym.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes, and especially when you get out of the shower and you're instantly warm because you just had freezing water and your body, just reacts to that and you're all warm. And then you get the towel and you can actually friction rub your skin, which, I can't tell you exactly what it does, but it does, So it stimulates our blood flow even better. And, you really do feel really great. So, steam baths I talked about a little bit. You actually do these I was working at Misty and they've got like a big, and probably seen about they've got big steam bath sort of things.
The steam bath. No, they did. Well, when we were there, they just have the one you sit in.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the sitting one. But at Highwood when we were there, you went into the steam with others, which means your head, you got to really keep your head cool.
Yes, correct. So so this is how we can induce a fever. Yes. So if you do have a cold, really stuffy, really congested, doing a steam bath will help and will create that fever before you get a fever, and you won't have to deal with the wasted effect of how we naturally have a fever. But so with a steam bath, for that we don't have one at home, but you can make one just with the things that you have in your kitchen. What kinds of things could you use to create steam in the kitchen? Well,
Okay.
yeah. You could use the kettle. I know Mum, she was practicing a couple of treatments on me. She's like, Kelly, get into the kitchen, and sat on the chair, and she popped a electric fry pan, and she popped it underneath my seat I was sitting on, wrapped me in a sheet, wrapped me in a sheet, and then plastic, and then a big woolen blanket. Woolen blankets are the best for holding heat, like anything else. It's really, really good. So if you have, don't get rid of them if you have them at home, and if you don't have any, try and get a hold of some, because they're really good for, actually essential with hydrotherapy. So she had me there, and the steam, she just popped some water on the element, and I was sweating so much, and she had the cold facial lotion. She's wiping my forehead and giving me water, and she's being all motherly, it's good. So really effective treatment, calling those white blood cells to action. It's because it was just a demonstration for me. I didn't actually have a cold or anything, but it will break down the congestion in your lungs and also draw the blood from your head. Really effective treatment. So to increase body temperature and metabolism, and it also has a sedative effect after 15 or 20 minutes. So you don't really want to do the treatment for longer than that. Because you do actually feel very, very sleepy, and especially after this treatment, you want to send them to bed, to a couch, just rest. To induce sweating, so steam bath is used to induce sweating, increase our pulse, and increase blood pressure and blood flow to the skin. It's used for rheumatoid arthritis as well, really good. And for those who have low blood pressure, it does raise it. So using it at the onset of a cold or the flu. So those are some things. I don't have any questions with the steam bath.
How different to a sauna is it?
So a sauna is more dry, and you don't actually get as hot as a steam. So steam is very moist. So and the temperature actually can raise to far higher than it reads on the gauge because of that moist, the droplets going to your skin. So very quickly your body can heat up. Yeah, so it's really important actually to keep our heads cool, our brains at an even temperature, so we don't want it to get overheated at all. Yeah.
Can I ask, when you had it under you, how was it coming up through the chair?
So it was a plastic chair, and it was just coming up through the holes in the plastic and surround of all the blankets that were under me. Yeah.
And so this will be my last bump, you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, it's always a shock.
So if you were just giving somebody a hot foot bath, so no cold, still want to finish the treatment with cold. That closes off the pores and again stimulates the nerves and the blood flow as well. Pulls the blood to your feet. So you want to actually have a jug or something with cold water and just rinse. Just pour cold water over their feet and then towel them off. Yeah, so that's how you can finish that treatment as well. Yeah, so hot and cold fermentations. Elizabeth and Bruce, you would have had lots of experiences. But I have known that cedar vale is really big for its hydrotherapy.
Oh, I guess, that's what we used while we were there. They probably got more updated stuff. We used to, what do you call, like a steam thing. We had to you put it in a plastic bag and you put it in a plastic bag when you're using a microwave, which is a lot quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so hot and cold fermentations, this is where you can apply direct heat to a specific organ. So it's not a full body thing, it is just for a specific area. So if someone has the flu, even a cold, they're very chesty, rattly, when they, a big rattly cough. Those who have, like chest infections, things like that, really great. For spinal issues, I can tell you a couple of things that my family has done using fermentation. It's amazing. So it's used to relieve pain, muscle tension, again stimulates blood circulation, relieves insomnia if we do it along the spine, and also relieves internal congestion. So what it is, I can do a little demonstration of how you would wrap it. So you actually, just a hand towel, if you were doing something for the chest, a hand towel about this size, or the size of a hand towel, you just want to double it over, or you can even pop it like that. Just make sure it's moist, not dripping wet, just wring it out, and then you can pop it in a plastic bag, and then pop it in the microwave for 2-3 minutes, or however long, to get it like hot. And then when it's finished in the microwave, you want to take it out of the plastic bag and quickly wrap it. Quickly wrap it in a towel. I'll just use this as a demonstration. So you just want to quickly, so this is hot, and then you probably have to use tongs or something, and wrap it in a towel and place it directly over their chest. They're lying down or their spine, wherever. So directly on their chest, and you can pop another towel underneath in case it's too hot. So you're running your hand underneath just to check, and always checking with them. How's this feeling? So walking them through, you're right there with them. And same thing, 3 minutes with heat, 30 seconds cold. When you're giving, so you actually want a bare chest, so clothing, minimal clothing as possible. And for the cold, you're not going to run water over them, but you're going to take a cold face washer that's been in ice water, and you're going to friction rub, take the heat off and friction rub for 30 seconds across their chest, and it goes bright pink, the blood is there and gives them a shock as well. Yeah. Both of my brothers, they had the flu and they got it at the same time. They were hacking up all sorts of things. And Mum's just like, all right, we've got to do something. So
You got to inflict injury on them.
that's great. So we popped them on the floor, and both they were just lying on the floor, and she had, you know, the wool blankets that they're lying on, and a sheet and plastic, and she's wrapping them up, and she's got 2 towels with the fomentation, and she's getting me to run between the microwave and back, and she's got the cold water in between. And yeah, I thought it was funny. And she would get the face washer and slap it on their chest. And yeah, but it broke down all the things that were lodged in there. And yeah, they were hacking up all sorts of things after that, just getting it out. Yeah, definitely speeded up their recovery for sure. Just really cuts it short. So that's a fermentation. So again, 3 to 5 times. 7 times even for that one. There are other ways you can heat up your cloth, your damp cloth. So when you're boiling water on the stove, you can just have like a strainer in there, just sit it on a strainer and let the heat go in there. You just have to wring it out and hold its heat and then pop it in there. It's very quick, so it's great if you can have 2 people.
We made our own fermentations when we were learning, and it's good to use the woolen blanket to make it,
Yes.
because it will retain the heat, and then the oven, and then sew it up. You can make them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually great if you can use not so much a towel to wrap them in, because if you could use a smaller woolen blanket, just like a smaller square, that'll hold its heat. Amazing. Yeah. My dad, he had, so this is an example of what you could do with your spine. He had a slipped disc a couple of years ago, his lower back, and it was bulging out onto a nerve down his leg.
Yeah.
And he actually couldn't walk properly
Nice.
or sit for probably almost 2 years.
Oh.
And I'm not sure why. He was trying all sorts of different things, going to see different types of, lots of different people, trying to get help, trying to avoid surgery as best as possible. And then, I'm not sure if you guys know a lady named Kay Sem. Some of you do. Back down in Albury, Mum just called her, look, this is our problem, we really don't want to go down the medical lines, we really want to give natural a good go. So, so she suggested do hot and cold fermentations on that exact area where that fluid has leaked out. And so we did that, and also Mum massaged his lower back as well. And treatments like this, you're not just doing it for a week. It actually takes time and a lot of effort. But the results are how do I say it? The results, yes.
I've heard of persevere. People give up.
Yes, it does the proper job. Like there's no side effects, there's no anything. It's complete. So Dad actually got an X-ray. It was getting really bad. Not that it was bad already. It was just and all the fluid had actually gone out of the disc, and it was just and so I just remember walking past the lounge room often, and Dad's lying on the ground, and Mum's just giving him the hot and cold fermentations and massaging using a couple of different oils just to help relieve the pain. And she did that morning and night, sometimes in the middle of the day as well. And he actually, when he got the X-ray, was written up to get surgery within a certain time frame. I can't remember. And he actually so through prayer as well. And he got, I I actually can't remember the exact time from when she started and when it was better. But we got another scan because he was able to walk, wasn't in pain, never had pinching or like nerve pain's not good. And yeah, he's like in the car. He'd have to put the front seat laying down. So if you're sitting and you got Dad like right there, or we have to sit in the 3 seats on the back, like lying down. But he got, after he started feeling like, okay, I can actually start sitting again and walking, not so much pain. He got a scan and it actually showed that the fluid actually sucked back into the disc of the nerve. So that's an amazing way how, using that moist heat.
What did the doctors think? You know, because they don't like this.
They can't
They
see.
just go, no, it wasn't as bad as we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's things like this where they've just got nothing. Yeah, it's just something that is a real testament. And
Yeah, I wonder if we got to it earlier, then the treatment wouldn't have probably had to last so long. If your mum had got to it earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But you know, that's
it's all a learning thing.
Yeah, it should be spread more far and wide. I don't think a lot of our church know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a really, really effective.
Simple treatment.
Simple.
And they don't cost money. As you say, time.
It is time.
Time.
Yeah.
Mm.
But as again, the results are lasting, where they don't have to keep coming back for more medication, or they don't have to keep coming back because it just does the job. Cuts. Yeah. Yeah.
I like what she said, like a lot of our churches don't know these things. But like some of it, like mostly, like for example, my church, we have few nurses, you know, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to, because my husband been wanting to run something like this for our church, but it's discouraging him to do it because we do have a few nurses that I don't know might be against it. I don't know.
I think for me, just run it. Like, don't think of what others think. Because if you think what others think, you won't be able to run it. Because like, there are a lot of people that are really like willing to learn or see how things are.
Yeah.
But because nurses also are misinformed, like what Kelly said, we didn't get it when we were doing our nursing course. But then if you go out of that picture, like, there's a lot of things you can do instead of relying only on other people.
Yeah, and a lot of people they just don't know. And like we read in that quote, people are actually quite scared of these things. It's amazing. Like, yeah, so it's just being able to, again, the privilege of being able to share and actually practical experience in it. Testimonies of what it does. It's, very powerful and encouraging for people as well. I just want to mention, with the fomentations for people who have had a heart attack or have palpitations, fast heart rate, you actually don't want to place that heat over their chest because it will increase their heart rate even more, put their heart under a bit of stress. So what you can do is you can apply a face water that's been in ice cold water. You can actually place that over their heart before place it on and then pop the heat on. And that will keep the heart stable and at a regular bit. Yes, any questions at all with any of those treatments? Another thing you could do is steam inhalation. So having I know for me, I had COVID a couple of months ago actually, and I just had my head was so congested. I was so blocked up. So I had just a bowl, hot water, like boiling hot water in there. I can't remember what oil I used, something to help eucalyptus maybe. And I just chucked a towel over my head and just like, yeah, tried to breathe as slow and relaxed as I could. And yeah, really broke up and cleared, all the nasal cavities. And yeah, very refreshing. I even did a hot and cold thing. So you pop your face under there for 3 minutes and then got the cold and gave myself a rub and then, yeah, it was really great too. So that's another thing you can do to help relieve congestion. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much all on a couple of the simple treatments that you can do at home. Yeah. I actually just want to finish with a couple of quotes on the spiritual side of things. Yeah. I'm not sure, I actually haven't really mentioned it much, this verse, but it's in Ezekiel, if you want to turn in your Bibles, in Ezekiel 36. Yes. Ezekiel 36, verse 25 to 26. Yeah, so who wants to read that one? 36, verse 25 to 26.
Then I will sprinkle cold water upon you, and you shall be cleansed from all your filthiness and from all your idols, and will cleanse you. A new heart also I will give you, and a new spirit I will put within you, and take away your stony heart out of your flesh, and give you a heart of flesh. I will also put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do these things.
That's good. Beautiful promises. Yeah. I just found these quotes that really, I remember the first time I read this, it really helped me to understand in a really simple way what it looks like to have a new heart. A heart that we can't produce ourselves, but a heart that Jesus gives us. And this quote from the book Prayer. It says, "Many poor souls are groping in darkness, looking for the feelings which others say they have had in their experience. They overlook the fact that the believer in Christ must work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. The convicted sinner has something to do. He must repent and show true faith." And the next one. This is, really beautiful. It says, when Jesus speaks of the new heart, as we just read, he means the mind, the life, the whole being. To have a changed heart is to withdraw the affections from the world and to fasten them upon Christ. To have a new heart is to have a new mind, new purposes, new motives. What is the sign of a new heart? A changed life. There is a daily, hourly dying to selfishness and pride. Isn't that beautiful? No. I would just seek for this heart every day. Yeah, also in the same book. It says, "One of the most earnest prayers recorded in the Word
word of God is that of David when he fled, "Create in me a clean heart, O God." And we're not to think that, maybe, we really don't want to waver on this point because God's response to such a prayer is, "A new heart will I give you." This is a work that no finite man can do. Men and women are to begin at the beginning, seeking God most earnestly for a true Christian experience. They are to feel the creative power of the Holy Spirit. And they are to receive the new heart. So we're to receive it, and it is kept soft and tender by the grace of heaven. The selfish spirit is to be cleansed from the soul. They are to labour earnestly and with humility of heart, each one looking to Jesus for guidance and encouragement. Then the building fitly framed together will grow into a holy temple in the Lord. May this be our prayer. We can pray this promise and receive this heart, new heart, every day, so that we can properly grow into a holy temple, rightly built, where He's the one who's building us. So that's a couple of thoughts I want to leave with you guys.
Thank you.
Thoughts?
The pull systems that we talked about the other day, so that's really just for cold. Using pull to sort of onion or potato. Did I hear somebody say potato? So that's specifically good for cold.
Yes.
Anything else?
For colds. Yeah, there's a couple of things. Yeah, we can use, but the main things is onion and ginger is really good as well.
But what about for things other than colds? Would you use poultice for anything else?
Yeah. To take away swelling,
Right.
to reduce your pain. Yeah, so we're actually doing a natural remedy talk tomorrow, where I'll have all the different pulses that you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's all. Thank you for listening. For the demonstration. I'll just pray to close. Father, I thank you for the privilege again of being able to learn and be reminded of treatments and simple things that you have placed and given to us. And I ask that we won't keep it for ourselves, but to whenever we have opportunity, have our eyes to be open, we may be able to relieve those that are suffering around us. And reminding of these beautiful quotes and the privilege that we can receive this new heart. So, I ask for this new heart as you have promised, and that each of us may seek it daily. Please, Father, be amongst us just now, and we're so thankful, and I pray this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.